What's good, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to drop your first ever 4K damage game with Wraith. I'm going to be spoon feeding you tips. If you listen to what I say and watch what I do, you will be easily able to achieve this. No bot lobby glitches, no boosting, none of that corny stuff. Straight up helpful tips for you to achieve this goal. I'm going to be giving you 6 tips over this most recent 4K damage game with Wraith, and in no time, you will be dropping 4Ks as well. If you're new here, my channel centers around helping you guys improve at Apex Legends, and so without further ado, let's just get right into it. Tip number 1, if you're gonna get this 4K damage badge, you need to drop hot. Not super hot. You want to be able to land it with 1 to 3 teams, and then make sure that where you're landing is pretty close to another POI that you can quickly then rotate to. You're gonna have to try this over and over again to be successful, so get used to doing it. And continue trying to win those fights off drop, and once you're finished with those fights off drop, look for the next closest fight. Sometimes that fight will come to you, and this usually happens if you land more towards the center of the map. Also, if the fights tend to last a little while, you can bet somebody's going to try to third party you. So in that event, be prepared to armor swap quickly after you just fight, or reload your guns and make sure you have the amount of ammo to take on the next team. This is critical to dropping high damage and high kill games. Tip number 2, try to find at least one teammate to go for this badge with. In this game, I duo queue trios with a friend, and this is usually my favorite way to drop 4Ks or 20 bombs. The reason I do trios instead of duos is because I feel like it's easier to find more teams in trios, and that way you're able to stack a little bit more damage. In duos, I've done it before, but it just feels like the lobbies die out quicker. It's just a personal preference of mine. The reason I have one random teammate is because that random's probably not going to be super helpful, but they'll at least be another body to distract enemies with. And who knows, that random might clutch up from time to time. I'm just kidding. The benefits of having at least one teammate, though, is being able to work together, so that when you're in that range of getting that damage badge, the teammate can do the necessary things to not get in the way and help you however you need. If you're going for this solo, just know solo queuing, dropping 4Ks, I've done it many times, but it's super inconsistent. The randoms you play with won't know how to help you, or they simply won't care to. That's why having one teammate to let you do your thing and output that damage, but also help you and slow down or speed up the pace that you need to take in order to drop these games. Shout out to my homie Matt for helping me get this 4K. If you guys are enjoying this video, please be sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. This helps my video out tremendously. It's free and will only take a second of your time. Alright, let's get back into the remaining 4 tips. Tip number 3, when playing as Wraith, use your abilities to help navigate your team, particularly with your portal. Wraith is like the point guard of the team. She can scout and be aggressive because of her abilities, but she can also move her teammates successfully. You should be ahead of your teammates to deal a good amount of opening damage, and then use your phase if you needed to back up and heal. Then you have your teammates play off of that damage, and then you come back in after you've healed and help clean up the fight. You'll see I do this in this game, and I also use my phase in an aggressive manner. I do it to take out this Rampart who is using her walls and pinning us down. Now this is a higher risk scenario because if it doesn't go well, I have no out. But it helped me avoid taking damage from the Rampart and her walls and helped me close the gap, which then helped win us the fight. I love playing as Wraith, and I know she gets a lot of negative stigmas because she drops solo and dies off drop, but at the end of the day, I don't care about none of that. If you want to improve with Wraith, I'm telling you, be sure to watch my Wraith guide that I did earlier this season where I cover all of her abilities in an in-depth manner, and I give you plenty of helpful tips and tricks. This video is much more focused on how to use her to drop 4K damage. So when you're with Wraith and you're in a crazy scenario, make sure you use that phase. Make sure that you use your portal to reposition, to back up, to push a team, whatever you need to do. Use your best judgment while using her portal, and make sure your teammates are close so they can take it as well. Tip number 4, rotate, rotate, rotate. You cannot afford to spend too much time looting random POIs or looting death boxes for too long. The lobby's gonna die out really quickly, like 95% of the time. So once you wrap up a fight, know what you need for loot. Look for it, grab it, and then continue to rotate. If you're low on ammo and those death boxes don't have it, just consider swapping guns at that point. Don't waste too much time with loot. Make sure you have the necessities though, like batteries, medkits, and enough ammo, and then you should be good to go for your next fight. This is one of the biggest ways you can accomplish a high damage, high kill game, is moving quickly, but having enough stuff to sustain the fights that you do come across. Tip number 5, use the LStar. All right, I hate saying this, guys, but I got to keep it real with you. The LStar is the most broken weapon this season, and Apex loves to do this with at least one gun every season. If you're going for 4K, you might as well use it. The damage per second is insane. You don't ever have to reload it if you know when the overheating is going to occur. The shots blind your enemies, and it has such an easily controllable recoil from close range, mid range, and even sometimes long range. I've heard some people tell me that they aren't good with it, but trust me, this gun is 1000% broken. And if you practice with it just a little bit, I'm sure you'll start to see what I'm talking about if you don't already know. Now, if you can't find an LStar, that's fine. You can use weapons like the R99, Volt, R301, Flatline. Even the Rampage is really good this season. And if you're going to go the long range route, I recommend the G7 Scout or Longbow. All of these weapons are ultimately really strong and can help facilitate a 4K damage game, but it's also going to come down to your preference of what guns you feel comfortable with. But don't sleep on the LStar, at least for now. If you're getting value out of this video and you're still watching, please consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss out on more Apex related content. As I said, my channel centers around helping you guys improve at Apex, and I only post about 2 to 3 times a week. I will not be spamming notifications or anything like that. Tip number 6, understand how much damage you can get off the last few teams, or really any team. If your game is anything like mine, where I was close to 3K with about 2 other squads left, then it is entirely doable. You can farm the last team if you need to, which I didn't do in this game, but it's all a numbers game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can easily get 1000 damage off on one team organically. Remember, thirsting enemies counts for an additional 100 damage, even if it's not your kill. So always take advantage of this when trying to have these games. And if you're really close and there's only one team left, try to slow down the fight to get that extra damage off if it's possible. The faster you take the fight, the less damage you may end up doing because you can miss out on thirsting them and they won't have time to heal at all. Take all of this into consideration when you're trying to drop 4K damage games. Also, remember to communicate with your teammates about how close you are to reaching your damage goal. Whether they're a random teammate or somebody you squatted up with, they need to know how much more damage you gotta do in order to assist you properly. This is a fundamental aspect to dropping 4K damage games. Let me know down in the comments what's the hardest part for you guys when it comes to dropping 4K damage games. I'm eager to find out if there are some things I didn't cover in this video. That's going to be it for me though. I'll let the rest of this video play out so you can see the ending. I'll catch you guys on the next upload. Thanks for watching. Peace. I don't know about Gibby with the solo. Did he jump off?
We got here. No. I gotta put my pylon down. A block is there.
Oh.
Get it?
Yeah.
All right.